glass.
Yeah, that's the Cherokee, the 952.
little Cherokee, yeah. I still remember those all these years later.
952.
And the 1217s for the Chevy pickups that you had to cut through that hard molding that they put on there for a few years.
Yep.
They were encapsulated part with a hard molding. Yeah, all silly stuff the manufacturers do. And back in the day, they were using butyl. They were just putting butyl in there, and those things weren't even safe.
That hood?
I don't know if that would help or not.
Probably not.
Try it.
Might not. Might give you a better angle. It might not. Yeah. In the middle.
All the way, yeah, middle. It's a handle pull on it.
Pull towards you. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, that might help you. We used to have these little cordless cocking guns too, which were nice. Milwaukee, I think they were years ago. You ever use those?
Yeah.
But you do a lot of glazing. You're used to doing it this way. As long as it's on there and it's even.
Handy for those storefront.
Oh, do they for that too? Yeah. They were like a little 2.4, volt battery thing. Yeah, we use those a lot. They were nice. You could put out a pretty nice even bead of caulking like that. But I trust you doing it this way because
it's right back there on that box.
Boy, it's pretty stiff.
Yeah, that's what the guys were saying. It's kind of
that's a rain channel.
Stiff darn thing. Yeah, it's supposed to keep the rain from, Another fancy idea.
Well,
so your kids pretty much grew up in your shop working.
Moldings these days.
Oh, that tells you what center?
And then they got a spot here. So
okay. So that tells you right where you need to put it on.
That's where you start these days.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Right here in the middle. Then it's got that butyl in there.
Oh, it does keep it on there. Yeah, because otherwise they'd want to come off. Yeah. Butyl's like a soft chewing gum, black, sticky, stays sticky just to kind of hold it on. Then I don't know if you ever did this. I used to put just a real thin bead right here to hold,
we just did
so it wouldn't leak. It seems like sometimes that would keep you from having a leak and stuff too. I get my finger out of here. You can see what he's doing. I have my finger in front of the lens. That's what happens when you're shooting on. But that's the great thing about YouTube. You just shoot on the fly. But the information out there to help people, like that rain sensor, if somebody's got to deal with that thing not working, now they know how it comes apart and everything. And I don't know if anybody's ever videotaped a windshield put in from start to finish, but I thought people might be interested in seeing, because people think, like you say, that it's so easy, and they're like, well, why are they?
What we're doing here is we're trimming this edge back. So if that urethane sticks out further than the edge of the glass, then it lips up, right? So you got to trim that off.
Oh, so you're making a bevel there.
You got to trim that off so that windshield can sit
where it
nice
needs to
flat,
sit,
and that urethane can go ahead and squeeze on out.
And you're just creating a little bevel on the edge right there.
If there's a lip on there.
If there's a lip, you got to cut that off. I see what you're saying.
You trim that off.
Yeah.
And then up here,
that's what he's doing here, and then
cutting away the molding where the old
molding, because it'll get in the way too.
Wherever you can see in that urethane where that old molding was sitting, and so you've got to get that down, or the windshield sits up. And I see so many of them that are done that way. Not that you guys do. I've never had a complaint from you guys, but it's because they won't take time to do these little things. If they've had 4 or 5 windshields in them, it just keeps getting
building up,
taller and taller and taller. And so when you get them in and you see that, then you need to trim them down.
That's what we started just taking. We'd cut like half of it anyway. We just put that long knife you created and just run all the way around and cut half of it out of there. That's how we used to do it, and that worked pretty good. And then tape them up good. You see so many of them slip down too. People put them in, they don't get them taped up, and then they move, later. So
and they always used to sit on blocks, and that's kind of thing of the past.
Blocks gone, It used to be like a rubber or plastic thing that
would up.
Yeah, they used to have teeth on them. They adjusted. The kind of the height on those. Remember those?
Do you remember they had the dissolvable?
Oh yeah, that's right. They had that in there for a few years.
And I think the reason,
it actually dissolved. Yeah.
The blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the reason they kind of got away from those blocks is sometimes they'll stress.
Cause them to break right there
block.
off the block. That's what I was going to mention. Yeah, we saw that. It would stress right there, little expansion, contraction, and it would cause a little hinge point. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I remember that too.
So the main thing for the driver, the owner of the vehicle, is once we put this in, you've got to leave a window cracked.
So it doesn't push it off the seal when you shut
Because
the
these
door.
are airtight, and you slam a door, that air pressure
Push it
will
right off there.
actually blow itself right out of this until this cures.
Ah.
Then you got a leak.
It'll actually push a hole right
So
there. I see
9
what
out
you're
of
saying,
10
Brad.
leaks that we have,
That's what,
because they've blown the seal with the.
because they didn't know the
They
leak.
forgot to.
You
leave
told
the
them, but
window
they didn't
cracked.
do it. Yeah, that first couple, it takes a couple hours for them sealants to set. They used to have the two parts and stuff, and they went fast, but they were expensive
It
as
takes a
heck.
couple
And
days. The warmer
a couple
it is,
days. Yep.
the warmer it is, the quicker it'll cure.
I'll put this back in the garage when I get home. Yeah, because having done glass for
And the colder
years,
it
I
is,
know.
the slower it cures.
Yeah, it's yeah. They came out with those two-part epoxy type stuff, and they seemed like they worked okay, but they were so darned expensive.
Well,
You know, anybody using anything like that anymore?
And when you go to cut that stuff out, it was so hard.
That was the other problem. Yeah, it got like a brick.
Yeah.
You had to redo your own windshield, which you do in Colorado, because the windshield breaks every 18 months. Is the statistics for glass.
Yeah, average life is about a year.
Yeah. Yeah, now that's probably more correct. It used to be 18 months. If people are good about fixing them, I can keep them in there, and
Right.
my customers are.
They
But
get in soon enough.
if I tell them you get crack starting, you get right in because they get dirt contamination, and most people don't know we can do cracks, even though I invented that technology. But they're happy when I can send them to you for a replacement. People love referrals there. You know, like, well, who do I go to? And, you know, the way I explained to people, I said, with the big shops, they got some real good installers, but they probably got some new guys too. And you just don't know what you're getting with a small shop like yours. You got your son's been doing this for years. You've been doing it for years, and you're likely to get somebody with some experience. Plus, I'm an independent small business, so I want to support small businesses in my area. You know, if you need something, you know me, you're going to call.
Some of my guys will call me because a lot of my builders and stuff live up in Monument.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, just run over and see Tim.
I know. I've had a few of them do that. I knew you did a lot of the builder work up there. So, yeah, it's you know, I still think small businesses have a place in this, especially when you're working on cars.
Which side, John? I'll grab this side. I'm going to hand her over.
Now they're going to set the windshield. You have to set it within like 30 minutes or something after you apply the sealant. It used to be anyway the case.
Yes, sir.
Looks like we got to go down under the hood first a little bit, huh?
Yeah, we got to keep it off the urethane and go down underneath the hood before we drop it down.
I'll make sure I'm out of their way because this is the part that... Oh. And since they're curvy, getting them right, the guy watches the side, and then they, you know, after doing this lot, you want it a little ways off those clips, you know.
I got an 8.
And then it'll let you slide it around a little bit.
I got that
Tape it.
order from my way.
3/16.
Yeah, I got about 3/16 up top. Up down bottom, I got about a quarter still.
You might need to come up a little bit then.
So they're as long as the molding covers the edge, we're good. And I don't suppose they're all, you know, straight. They can vary a little.
You switching here, Pops? Or just get this tape. Got into the glue a little bit.
No, I always did. I wore that stuff every day. I couldn't seem to.
That's from last week.
I couldn't seem
Here's
to.
the new one.
I couldn't seem to stay out of it. It was,
Watch here. There's some on the windshield.
yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a little rubber thing they put in there, and he's right up against it. That's where it's supposed to be. But they vary in size a little bit too, don't they, Brad?
We got a little.
I should have my hail guy fix my hail dents. I have a little hail damage on this. It's been on there for years, but it's pretty minor, so I'm not really ever worried about it. I get my vehicles to drive.
That comes the fun part.
Yep.
Putting her back together.
Putting her back. Yeah. Getting all the old stickers and Pilkington. With Pilkington is OE for a lot of the BMWs, I noticed. I think it had Sigler Secured in it before, which is the German glass. But now that the BMWs are made in the States, they use Pilkington primarily.
I tell you what, I think you're better off with Pilkington than PGW. Now I hate to say it, but PGW's gone downhill, man. They're distorted.
Oh, they're what they call friendly windshields. They wave at you if you looked at them from like this angle.
So distorted.
They're friendly windshields. Guy used to work for me said that's
Chrysler
Safe Light's windshields were friendly.
And it's so warped that the windshield wiper won't hit.
Skips the spot. Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah, people would come in and they'd say,
because
yeah.
the windshield is actually dipping down.
It's distorted, yeah. Yep, I've seen that. See, I got urethane on my phone. I wasn't kidding when I said I always get in it. I got it on my phone cover. Now you know why I went to doing just repair, because I'm too damn messy.
Now stay out of that. Stay out of that.
And they get in it.
Always get in it.
It's almost like you tell them stay out. You're guaranteed they're going to get back.
Always get in.
So he just pushes these clips in, and then you just push the center part down in there. They have a Phillips head, which you kind of thread them out, but you just kind of push them back in when you go back in.
We tried to use them as they're supposed to be used, but a lot of times these plastic plugs, they don't work like they're engineered to work.
No, we used to have a ton. We used to have these little rollout kits that we rolled out that were full of darn clips. It was back when I was doing a lot of this every dang thing and they still do like this. I mean, a lot of them have clips on the bottom. They've just gotten rid of clips on the side, except for BMW. It's odd to see that molding has clips going upside. So then Brad's just pushing that side molding back in and just gets it lined up, and it just grabs those clips. Just grab it again. And I think he's probably doing this one next, so I'll film that. But as you can see, it's a time-consuming thing to change a windshield. And some of them are getting expensive. That's why with Crack Eraser we came up with technology to save them, but you still got to get a windshield every once in a while, even though we've repaired it and saved it several times. So he's just lining that up where the clip will grab there, and then it just kind of pushes into place. And it's just cosmetic. It just covers the edge of the glass is all that it does. Those clips do grab, don't they, Brad?
Yeah, they do.
Yep. And they're reusable, which is nice. So many of them they broke. You had to have different clips every time.
They still do.
Yeah, that hasn't changed. They came out with the flush mount windshields where they don't have any moldings across the top sides on a lot of them.
Yep.
I kind of like these things.
Do you? It seems like on those you got that kind of molding on the back side that keeps the urethane from gushing out, but you get that edge of the paint there. I don't know. It's just a different way of doing it.
There is none. There is none.
Oh, it goes below it. Oh, and this one may have to go underneath this one, it looks like. So that new.
Yeah,
or does it go? I think that one's got to go in first.
Yeah, this one's got to go.
So I'll have to pop one of those clips, yeah.
There you go.
That's kind of what I remembered from all the years I did it too. That
I'll put that in first.
Was one. It's kind of tedious work, like any mechanic, and the way they design things.
Hold on.
There it goes.
Like that's supposed to go in behind there, like that, somewhere in it. Yeah. Those clips are better than some of them they use. They just turn it.
They're pretty great.
Yeah. So many of them don't unclip and clip again, so.
Or you just break them.
Yeah, they break. There's two filters under here. The two cabin filters are under this side, so you have to take that off every once in a while, change those out, which I did not too long ago.
What's that say?
It's probably passenger.
Left hand?
No, that says 1211.
Oh.
Let me see that one.
Usually there's only one way they can go.
This is probably passenger.
They had them separated, but Brad grabbed them up and combined them. So now they're like, okay. They'll only go on one way usually, but yeah.
Yeah,
That one, yeah.
There's only one of these caps.
Well, see the longer blade. Don't they have a longer one on the driver's side too, guys? Oh, this one's the driver's side because it's, or are they the same? Like, is this the longer blade? If that's the longer blade, it goes on the driver's side. Why don't you check it before you put it on there? It's longer. That's driver's side then.
Okay, I didn't know
Yeah.
that either.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, they always put the driver's side will be the longer wiper blade. And sometimes they're marked. They didn't mark these.
No, they didn't.
That'd be too easy. And usually they set kind of level, and you know, to where they're not touching the molding. That's where they would usually be. Some of them used to be pinned, but these aren't pinned, so they can kind of go any way that way. Is that upside down, the nut? Oh, it's just regular. Oh, it is. They're not roundy on the top like they used to be. Okay, got it. It's got a big washer on one side, and it didn't have any caps on it covering the nut. Oh, it does. Oh, so yeah, one. I need to get one. One was missing. Okay. All right. That's fine. That makes sense. That looks good. We can cycle them, but usually kind of level, usually kind of right at the edge of what they call the frit. This black thing on the edge of the windshield is called the frit. It's a ceramic paint that's on the inside. You just don't want them to come down and hit the molding, and it doesn't matter on the upper side unless they're hitting up on the side molding going up on the top, which usually they won't. But we'll cycle them and check them.
Especially in Colorado, you want those to be nice and tight.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You get a lot of snow on there. They don't run off track.
Yep. They'll come off, and then the wiper arm itself is softer, so it's supposed to just ruin it, but you'll see them where people have forgotten to snug them down good like you guys just did, and then they'll mess up those splines on there. We used to see that a lot in the shop too, so the only thing I would do is I would leave them off for people, and people would call me, well, you did a great job on the windshield, but I went to turn the wiper blades on and there wasn't any because they'd be sitting on the bench, right? I didn't get them back on the car. I did that a time or two. I admit it. I'm like, oh, it's because we didn't put them back on. So then the mirror kind of just goes on there and twists on again.
These can kind of be a pain.
Yeah, they can be. I remember that.
And you don't want to push too hard
because you can push the windshield off the seal.
That windshield off the seal, right?
Yeah.
So figure out.
Do you need me to bring your little light in here, or can you?
There it goes.
Yeah.
There's that. Then plug this back in.
Yeah.
Can't really
I can grab that little. You got your little light? I'll hold it for you.
Hey, is my light over there somewhere? That little flashlight?
Yep, got it all over myself. See? I never could stay out of that stuff. For some reason. Oh, did you get it flipped around? Uh-oh. Yeah, it was on this side. Now it's on that side. Oh, no. Oh,
where is it?
Where did it go?
Oh, here it is.
Oh, okay, it's got to be on this side. I say it wouldn't let you put it on wrong, hardly.
Yeah, here it is.
You just can't see. Yeah. All right, yeah. I was going to say, there's no way you could have got it flipped.
I was just thinking
to
too hard
the other
about
side.
it.
Yeah. I was like, that's because I'm making you nervous. You're not usually filmed while you're doing this.
Okay. So.
Oh, I'm going to have to connect these videos. I touched the button and it stopped it on the side. Wouldn't you know it? I got to get some software to... I'll just splice it together. So now we're putting the little cover back on.
If you get one side on, that mirror will hold it for you while you finagle this other side on.
Ah, okay.
Then they just clip together.
Oh, I heard a clip.
There's one, two. I think I already got that bottom one. So
there we go. Perfect.
there's the mirror.
Yeah, that looks good. Looks like it. There we go. Now they're touching. Yeah, it looks
nice.
great. You
Cool.
got it. Perfect. That's what we wanted. Wow, we're just about done with this beast. In fact, I think you are done.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Nice job, guys. I can see that you're conscientious. Take your time and don't rough things up. And just like the way I used to do it when my dad and I had the shop for years. So that's a nice looking job, guys. Moldings down well and everything. Cool. Well, if you're in the Colorado Springs area and you need a windshield done or flat glass or shower doors or anything, Warnhoff Glass, W-A-R-N-H-O-F-F, is a great place to go. I'm sure you can go online and find his website and find him. Warnhoff Glass, that's who I've used for quite a few years. And they do a great job. I've never had a complaint. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.